Listen, I want to tell you about this guy. It was all over the news, and it was news to me. But I'm glad it's over. It's about this guy called Humpty Dumpty. He's a nasty guy. He's a real piece of work. He climbed a wall, a great wall. And in some parts it was a fence, but still a great wall. And he climbed it, and this is a real problem. The Humpty Dumpty people are climbing walls in numbers that we've never seen before, believe me. And this particular Humpty had a fall, a huge fall, a great fall. It was a mess. I've never seen anything like it.
Firstly, I want to thank you for about the antics of a childlike dictator we have in the White House. Who's had been a real funk since he started there. So can we start with you telling us briefly what your new book is all about without you giving it all away?
The new book is about the first 100 days of the current Trump second administration. And it's not praise. It doesn't give a lot of praise for those first 100 days. I'm rhyming already, which is something I just do automatically, and often dramatically. When the first administration started, I was so depressed that I put on Facebook a parody of Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall, and then challenged myself to do one a day for the next year, and met the challenge.
Wow.
And brought out a book, Humpty Trumpty Hit a Brick Wall. And then when the second administration started, I thought, I just can't do this again. But then I thought, oh, well, I'll do the first day. And then I did the second day. And then I thought, okay, I'm going to keep this up, but I made a promise to myself that I would limit it to the first 100 days, which I did. And so when I read it back and read them all one after the other for 100 days, I realized that what I'd really done, at least it struck me, it might not others, as a history and verse of Trump's second 100 days, second administration 100 days. And I'm not sure that something similar to that exists anywhere else.
Yeah. How cathartic was it for you doing this?
It's cathartic, and cathartic in the way that I could amuse myself doing it.
Yeah.
And that took some of the edge off the horror of what was happening. And of course, continues to happen. After the first 100 days. So it was cathartic to a point, to a good point.
Yeah.
Because I was having fun doing them and hope that they're fun to read. But it didn't make what he's done to our democracy any less disturbing.
Did you get a good response to Volume 1 from other people who felt like you?
Yes, the first books did rather well and continued to do well for the right up until the beginning of the second administration.
And we know now, in this book one, and I will not call him by his name, I always call him by the orange man in the White House. He's extremely vengeful. Do you think you could be on his list of people who should be punished?
I suppose I could be on his list. My suspicion is that neither book has yet been called to his attention. I think when and if it is, and I would imagine that somewhere along the lines is in a circle, will either hear about this book in one way or another and bring it to his attention, but maybe not.
We don't know if anybody in that circle has any sense of humor.
No, well, that's
Look at Stephen Miller, for example. But I will say to you, the problem I have been English and trying to explain it to people back home because it seems so like a nightmare. But you are a theatre critic, so how much does this seem like a drama that should be on stage?
Every every bit of it, I think, could be dramatized,
Yeah.
or certainly satirical reviews can
Mm.
be done. Um, and about an endless satirical review could be done every day. There's
Mhm.
new material new material for some s- comic sketch. Um, uh, I I just saw a review called 44,
Mhm.
the musical,
Yeah.
which is a satirical review about the Obama administration,
Mhm.
which isn't very good, but there it is, and certainly we're going to this will be done, and the material, so much material is there. When I was doing the second book, I was talking to a friend and said I was doing it,
Mhm.
and he said, "Well, every day you can do it every day." I said that there's so much material, it's difficult to decide from day to day what I'm going to settle on.
How do you decide? How do you decide?
Uh, a lot of it has to do with the rhymes I can find.
Okay.
Uh, but but uh,
Okay.
and then when I'd said that to him, he said to me, "Oh, I hope you run out of material." And
So,
I said, there was no fat chance there.
so is your work motivated by fear or just anger?
I think it's primarily prompted by anger
Mhm.
and concern about what's happening to our democracy.
Mhm.
I feel that I am not living in the country I was born into because of this, because of his Project 2025 aims, which of course he claimed he never read. And I believe that he never read it because I don't think he ever reads.
No.
But he certainly knew about it and knew the points they were making, and now is checking them off one by one. But I guess there's certainly fear there, not personal fear.
Mhm.
It's fear for the country,
Absolutely.
fear where we're going. Uh,
Mm.
I do sometimes think if he finds this book, I may be on a plane somewhere to Salvador or El Salvador or some place, but who knows? Um,
I think that's really scary, David, the fact that I was in Boston Airport and witnessed a really nasty ice incident and
oh, really?
furious about it. I filed a story on Facebook, and one of my friends said, "You need to be careful." And I said, "I'm just a small cog in a big wheel, and if I can't say things like that, then I should give up. If I can't report back stories like that." How
Yeah.
pessimistic are you about the next 3 years?
I've been thinking about that and listening to a lot of people say they are or they are not, that
Mhm.
they're holding out hope. Um, I want to be hopeful, but that doesn't mean that I am hopeful.
Mhm.
And I can't decide whether I actually am.
Mhm.
Every once in a while, there'll be a glimmer, a little light will
Yeah.
come through that someone is, and actually, maybe these days, because of his polling numbers and people, even some Republicans beginning to speak up, uh, I think there is something of a light at the end
Yeah.
of this dark tunnel.
Do you think his inner circle keep him away from bad news like polling figures, or do you think he's aware of it all?
Oh, I think he's aware of it
Mhm.
all,
Mhm.
and I think that he knows he will say, "This is the first 9 months the greatest first 9 months of any president ever, because he believes that his base believes whatever he says, despite everything else. But I think he certainly knows that this is not where he stands in the public opinion right now.
But he does what we were told not to do as children. He talks before he thinks. And the interesting thing I found as an English person, it took him quite a few days to say anything about Andrew because the British have fired Andrew. What we did, we made him president.
Well, yes.
Is
Yes.
this volume 2? Is this the end? Is there volume 3 in the works?
There would only be a volume 3 if there were a third term.
Have you been speaking to Steve Bannon recently?
Well, I believe what others have said, despite Steve Bannon, that I want to believe that there can be no third term still, according to the Constitution. But I'll tell you one thing I have done. I've taken the 12 Days of Christmas and I've rewritten them as the 12 Days of Icemas. And the last one, for instance, being on the 12th day of Icemas, our president gave to me 12 lies a minute. And then it goes down to, 5 mega caps and right down to 1 ballroom in the East Wing entry, the demolished East Wing entry. So I'm still spinning on in more than one way on this administration, because how can you miss it?
I can't. You're right, David. I cannot watch the news.
See, I can't not watch the news. And I think today I cannot watch The View because Marjorie Taylor Greene, who there are a couple verses in my book about her, whom I call the poster queen for ignorance. She's turning out to have a little more pith than or piss than we all thought. I mean, she's looking at it because she's looking at it from more as a woman than as a Biden hater. She's got some things to say.
Yeah, that's good. So, David, it's been a pleasure talking to you, and thank you for making me laugh about you know who, because we all need that this time. We're going to run the details of your book. Is book number 1 still available as well?
Oh, yes, it is.
Okay, and let's keep writing away because we need to laugh and smile in this day and age. And thank you for helping us do that.
Well, thank you for giving me the chance to talk to you about it, because I did have fun writing it.
Good.
So I hope people have fun reading it. You apparently have, so that's good.
I did. So thank you for that. No.
Listen, I want to tell you about this guy. It was all over the news, and it was news to me. But I'm glad it's over. It's about this guy called Humpty Dumpty. He's a nasty guy. He's a real piece of work. He climbed a wall, a great wall. And in some parts it was a fence, but still a great wall. And he climbed it, and this is a real problem. The Humpty Dumpty people are climbing walls in numbers that we've never seen before, believe me. And this particular Humpty had a fall, a huge fall, a great fall. It was a mess. I've never seen anything like it, believe me. And there was this stench of egg in the air, and nobody wants that. If somebody said to me, what did he smell like? He smelled like egg. Nobody wants that, believe me. You don't want to smell like egg. And then all of the king's horses and all of the king's men, and they are great men. The king is a great personal friend of mine, and he does such a great job despite these great men working hard, and they're really tough guys. They really do work hard, and they couldn't put Humpty Dumpty back together again. And